Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T. from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
Well. Good to have you along with me, as I can't hear anything, of course. But that's how that works. Okay, well, this is off then. All right, you should. You want to try it again? Here we go. Hey, it's all right. Let's see if it works now. Because, you see, I'm the only one that uses these cans. I'm like old-fashioned dinosaur. No, it's not hooked up. So that's not happening. You know why? Because it's probably not even plugged in. Let's see. Is it plugged in? Yeah, well, that's okay. Is the mic on over here? Yeah. Okay. Did you plug the electric into the wall?
In the plug socket? Is the battery outside on? Is the generator going?
Will you stop putting their stuff?
Did the water and power, did you guys pay the bill? Do you have the little mice in the mousetrap going fast?
No, they're leprechauns.
Oh, they're leprechauns. The friggin' leprechauns. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
We need, you know something, I'm racist. I don't like leprechauns.
Leave the leps alone. Jesus.
All right, it's time for the Jesse T Show as we come on here, as we always do. We never know how we start this show. It always starts in anarchy, chaos, and mayhem, but that's the way we like it. The Brown Beauty is back on duty. Jesse T with you, and I am on the air and everywhere from the community to the world, fresh from the Sheraton Gateway near LAX and watching the planes land and the submarines race. And it was a lot of fun. I was out there at the Triple G Media. Oh, my goodness, a big press conference. They've got at the StubHub Center this weekend, Saturday, big fight, Triple G's laying everything on the line. Boy, what a great champion he was. And I got to meet somebody by the name of Don King. Oh, Lord help me. Don King. I thought I could talk, but Don King, he is the master of the pugilistic word. That guy was unbelievable, but we sure love him. Don King was just terrific. Got a chance to talk to him. Those are up and running right now on Instagram. Of course, we're on Instagram right now, live, as well as Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero. We're live there too on Tumblr, Periscope, Livestream. We're everywhere. That's what we are, and that's what we're doing. And it's good to be back in the studio on a Wednesday as we are catching the vibe in Los Angeles here on a kind of an overcast kind of day here in Los Angeles. It's not as hot and muggy and beautiful as it has been the last couple of weeks, but it is absolutely beautiful out here anyway because the weather is just perfect. It's not too hot, and it's just not too cold, and that's the nice thing about it in that respect. It's just perfect, and so perfect for a perfect time with some perfect people. The problem is I can't find any. Oh, wait a second. I do have a few here. Yes, way over to the left of me. Way yonder over left. Well, he's actually more right-wing and conservative and independent, but he's way over on the left today. Mr. Pete Antico is in the house. Ho, 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 ho!
Hey.
Yes, Pete Antico ran for SAG president this last go-round, and I voted for you, man. I know you got lots of votes, but you're here, so I guess you didn't win.
Not here, so I didn't win. It's okay. But we moved the needle and made some people.
You made some waves, huh?
We made a lot of waves and educated a lot of members, and if all the members heard the message, I believe it would have been a different turnout, but it's all about the politics of how to get the message out, because most of the members don't pay attention or read anything about their guild, and that's why it's in the shape it is now.
So you had some butt boogaloo, some squirming going on in some people's pants with some of the issues you were raising, right?
Lots of issues I was raising, and people don't like to listen to the truth.
No, absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. So he's here, and of course, a great stunt coordinator and actor and producer and writer and director and dishwasher and lawnmower and car driver and raceman. I mean, he does everything. I guess yes, he's an astronaut too. Yes, that's right.
Nut.
Yeah, well, he might be a nut. I don't know. Are you a nut? Yeah, he's kind of a nutty kind of guy, that's for sure. And to the middle here, we move on down the road here, and we have a terrific young man. He is so young and handsome and beautiful. I should have actually put Lee right in the middle of you, because then I would have looked really pretty. But with you
got a
there,
great head of hair, though.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, you have some hair. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, we got to talk about this gentleman here. He has. I've been told, Alex, bring it on, Alex. What's happening, Alex? Tell us your last name.
Wraith, Alex Wraith.
I like that. That was like a science movie from about 8 years ago. Remember the Wraiths? They were like evil people that sucked the life out of you like vampires.
You mean Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
The Ring Wraiths.
The Ring Wraiths.
Yeah, they were chasing the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you're like chasing,
what is it? Chasing their dreams.
Yeah, something like that. They lived through their dreams. That's how they got their energy.
Yeah.
They sucked the dreams right out of them. Absolutely. So we have Alex Wraith here, and he is a martial arts master. That's number one. And I understand that you have one of the fastest feet or foot in the world. I mean, you're like faster than the Superfoot, from what I understand.
I mean, I got tested at the USC Science Lab. We did a documentary called Killer Legs on me, and we went through hell for 6 months. So I have a pretty fast kick.
Right leg or left leg or either?
I don't remember which one broke. I think it was the right. The right leg was the one that did it. It was 76 miles an hour, over 6,000 pounds of force, PSI force.
From the ground up, right?
Yeah. So this is so Bruce had
what kind of kick was it? First off?
Head kick.
Head kick. Okay,
Yeah.
Straight or round?
It was actually a hybrid of all. It was Taekwondo mixed with Savate mixed with Muay Thai.
Boy.
So I had to and that's why it took a while for them to get all the numbers. They used a Ghost high-speed camera, the Phantom camera.
Yeah.
And they had to get it from all different angles. Then they had velocity testing on all these sensors on
Right.
there. So it was it was pretty strenuous on the body.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, and I mean, you really had to stretch, like Jean-Claude Van Damme used to really stretch. Do you do a lot of stretching like that to make your legs faster, more flexible, more dexterity in them?
Well, the stretching The stretching really, what it does is elongates the muscle and causes the explosive fibers.
Right.
Because if you don't stretch, your muscles aren't as strong. I think they're literally 3 times as strong if you're very flexible. Mm-hmm. Just because of the elasticity and the way they respond to things. Mm-hmm. So I do stretch before. Let's put it this way. So at 50 miles an hour,
right.
over 50 miles an hour, the kneecap is supposed to pop out.
Your kneecap, the one that's doing the kicking.
Correct. Yeah, because it's the way it's attached to the body. It's not made for that. So, but the increments of speed from 50 to 70, it's milliseconds, and it's only a certain movement to do it. So there's a very fine line of where things can go wrong.
So it's like momentum. It's like a G-force almost. Your leg is going one direction, and your joint is going another direction. Oh man!
Yeah.
Wow, were you always fast like that as a kid? I mean, when you started studying martial arts, did you always have exceptional speed and power in your legs?
When I competed, that was my thing. I would get in, grab the person, push him away, and then just throw really fast. So I always had the speed.
Right.
There. But then the power came after I started bodybuilding and lifting and all that, and you see in the video. So
So like Benny Yukita says, and there's a guy that has great leg speed and power, and far greater than that you could possibly imagine, given his size.
Right.
You know, he's only about 5, I would say maybe about 5'6", 5'7", something like that. But he could master a kick at 6'8". Somebody in his Jet Center gym, there's stories told of him where he drops guys that really are almost twice as tall as him.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of great fighters, a lot of great technicians, martial artists, UFC guys with very strong, powerful kicks, punches.
Right.
For instance, I train at Custom Autos gym, Mike Tyson's old gym.
Right.
So my punching. The PSI for that was above some people's kicks, just because of the way the form of that punch.
Yeah, old school.
Old school.
Gus
like,
Mouse,
we
put
put a mattress against the wall and just hit it for 4 hours.
Right.
Like we used to hit truck rims and just flatten the truck rim so you get that bone density.
Right.
But again, the way this was tested, it's not. Even if you bring in a fighter like a top ranked optimum fighter, he would have to train to try to get to the record because there's a certain way to do it.
Right. It's like iron fist or iron palm. You can hurt your hand if you are training the right way to get there. And it seems simple and basic and not too strenuous on the hand, but you're conditioning the bones and the joints.
Right. And the impact too.
Right. The impact.
Yeah. So you have the metacarpals in the legs and the wrists and all that. Right. So those take the brunt of the force. Mm-hmm. So they have to stay elastic and they have to Pete's playing the
Yes,
trailer.
this is what we do at the Jesse T Show. We have like a dynamic of several different things going on. This is like, when my kids were growing up and we're at the dinner table, one child is playing with the phone, the other child is playing with the computer.
We have ADD here.
Right. We do. Well, we're all ADD. I'm in fact, some people put other letters together to describe me.
Yeah.
And some of them happen to be middle fingers.
You're a pretty well-rounded guy, man. I'm pretty impressed by you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, I am well-rounded in the wrong sections. That's for sure. But now, when you brought your martial arts, you started to get in the entertainment business and decided you wanted to do that. Did you shy away from the martial arts aspect because you wanted to be a thespian? You wanted to be an actor?
Well, yeah.
I mean, or did you? When was it the point that you finally said, something? This is who I am, and this is what I do. I'm going to see if I can do both.
It literally happened, I think, a year and a half after the Kill Legs documentary, because I never, I was a junior Olympian in Taekwondo.
Right.
I used to compete and fight from all different kind of arts, from Western boxing to Savate, Taekwondo, Muay Thai,
right,
JKD. I loved it. It was my thing, but I never said that's what I did, because there's two things in Hollywood. If you're a thespian, you're a thespian. That's it. If you say you're a martial artist, no matter how good you are, they're gonna be like, oh, that guy's a star. Right. So now, after a while, I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm young. I can do it. Why not just get it out there? I'm always gonna be an actor, but it's fun to do these
athletic
things, and just really showcase what you could do on camera.
Right.
And we got a chance to do that in the comedy that we did.
We're gonna play this trailer. Lee, did we get that lined up? Okay, but did you get it in your email already?
I just sent it to you.
Okay. Oh, you sending it right now? Okay, cool. Oh, you'll get it in a second. We're going to play this trailer that you guys did, and it's a satire, and it's got the cool thing about it. You've got people in here that just don't do stuff for people, I mean, what do you got? You got Guido in the back. He's got some connections or something here.
That's essentially very correct.
I mean, you got Pete Antico back there, man. You got the goon in the back. What are you doing? Eh? Right.
What is that? Is that Travolta? You doing Travolta from?
Yes.
That's Travolta on Quaaludes.
That's Travolta on Quaaludes.
That's right. And Bill Cosby crushed it up and put it in his margarita so he didn't know.
You get it?
Yes. So my political satire there on Bill Cosby. But anyhow, we're gonna get to this trailer here. You want to go to my email? Okay.
Yeah, the movie's a satire, but it's also an exploitation film. It makes fun of all. It's sexist, it's racist.
Oh, I love
those. It's insane. It's
insane.
I love
those.
We
Animal House, man. I love those.
It's Animal House because I felt that the society needs kind of a breather. Everyone's so serious and everyone's taking things so, as soon as you say open your mouth and you can't have fun, you can't, be a human being. So we were like, you know what, fuck it. This is what we're gonna do in this movie. We're gonna have fun and just let everyone else have fun and be creative and be, just outlandish. Go do your thing,
Pete, when you guys were putting this together, because you're in it too, and let me find out the hierarchy here. You guys both produced this, right? Or
Alex was the writer-director.
Okay.
And I produced with Sean Stone, and I was the second unit director and the stunt coordinator. Okay. And Alex and I both did the fight choreography on it. Because it was so quick. He's a fighter, and I have vast experience in the film business, and so we put together these really 70s, 80s style,
There's a different
fights.
style too.
It's more. It's like the old eye for an eye. You look at the old, the Lone Wolf McQuaid's, the old 80s, martial arts Jeff Speakman stuff. The stuff that was playing, or Don the Dragon Wilson, all these movies, they had a certain style, and it wasn't like this. I want to say street fighting, jailhouse rock, or the high tech stuff that they're trying to do in the Avengers or the parkour.
That's all CNG stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's not CGI, but there's a lot of parkour and stuff. But that wasn't the way it was in the 80s at all. The 80s was, sometimes they left misses in. They did these big broad kicks, and that you could see from, Cucamonga.
Yes.
And and they take forever to get there, and they'd hit somebody. But I mean, we did it in that vein when the first fall, no one knew what martial arts were.
Right.
So if someone had half of a movie was a green belt, oh my God, that guy knows karate, and it's pretty funny, man.
It was more back then. It was more about the style and the
Yeah.
character of the person, rather than like how and what it took to get to the final end of the fight scene. You know, like today it's more like realistic.
Yeah.
This wouldn't happen in a fight scene, or this
No.
wouldn't. But back in the day, it was about the style, like the look. What the guy
everybody
was wearing,
liked to see
you know?
Jackie Chan fall 14 stories onto
Yeah.
2 awnings, into a car, and on the back of a horse, all
and
in
that
one
was,
shot.
That was Jackie's style, you know,
Right.
in Police Story and all those, and even Tony Jaa kind of does it in The Protector
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. But it's about the style of the person that you look up to. You want to dress like him. You want to be like him. You want to talk like him.
Yeah. Well, Bruce Lee established that for everybody. That's for sure.
But what makes this movie stand out? It's very stylized, and so Alex did something different that I didn't see a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of these snap zooms where the character's looking at whoa, it just zooms up and back, and it's a very stylized film, combined with the fact that the writing. It's an '80s film with a lot of. It's a spoof or an homage to '80s martial art action heroes, but it's got consciousness in it. I mean, the characters are talking about estrogen in the meat, and they're talking about how too much estrogen emasculates men, and they're talking about the corrupt Federal Reserve Bank,
Right.
And they're talking about a lot of the systems that most people didn't know about in the '80s. He's like prophesizing what's happening in
Yes.
the in the 21st century. So that. It's a very interesting play. There's a lot of I want to say interesting information within the comedy. It's delivered in such a way that it's
Wait
interesting.
a minute. Are we going to have Jesse the Body Ventura kind of do the ADR and the voiceover?
No, we
here?
have Professor Griff.
Oh, you got
We have Professor Griff.
Oh, well, that's just as good.
I
you know?
mean, Griff was awesome,
I know,
man.
he's great.
Professor
man.
Griff did this great bitching in
The rent is too
intro,
damn high.
man.
Yeah.
The rent's too damn high.
That was
Yeah,
just the-
all about the rent being too damn
the rent's
high.
too damn
well,
high.
That's got to be funny.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. And then we had Tommy Davidson from In Living Color. He played the prophet. He was
Tommy
preaching.
Davidson, right.
Let me tell you something. He was preaching on the fly, and he was magnificent.
Wow.
Tommy was brilliant.
Wow.
We wrote all that. Though.
Yeah, I know. It was written. Oh, yeah. It was really, really good. It was really, really good what he was
He was
doing.
great.
He was
So
phenomenal.
Did you send that to my email too? That what's it? What is it? What is it coming under? What heading?
Pete at Literati something.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys can send them emails.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Can't even send an email.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Right. Well, you know.
I could just play the trailer in front of the camera. How about that?
Check your spam.
Yeah, that might be the way to go on this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even getting it in my email.
Maybe spam.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not even getting it here.
Well, I tell you, I got it
You
here.
can't
I can
see
just,
all this.
I can
These are
just play it.
porno- These are porno pig sites. you
here.
know?
Oh, yeah.
I
You
love
could ju-
watching.
wait,
I love watching nude pigs.
Well, we'll put
you
it
know?
play it in front of one of the. It's not. What are you doing?
I'm gonna send it to you.
No, you can't.
Okay,
Won't
well,
work.
we'll do that in a second.
Doesn't
okay?
work.
We'll do it in a second.
It doesn't work.
So I have a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And he, yes, I do have a friend every now and then. But my friends are always in the wrong places. They're never in the right places. That's my problem. But this friend of mine, he moved back to China. He married a Chinese woman, and he's an English major. He moved back to China about maybe 15 years ago,
Right.
Beijing, and he opened up an English-speaking school to teach English.
Right.
But he's in the cosmopolitan Beijing, and all the coastal cities of China are very modern. We see the pictures, right? But what I asked him when I talked to him, just recently actually, I talked to him, and I said, Pete is his name. I said, Pete. When you go, it is. It's actually just like yours. He's probably your long lost brother on the Chinese side. Lineage from long ago. So I said, "What's it like when you go into the Chinese countryside?" And he said, "It's you go 500 miles back off the coastline in the Chinese countryside, and it's still a kung fu movie." From the 15th century.
Yeah.
There are people still living like a kung fu movie. So I asked him, I said, well, I mean, do they have, how do they speak? And we were Skyping, and he said, well, they speak like this.
I should have put it in the movie.
Yeah, right?
It's like 5 fingers of death. You have destroyed my family.
Right.
And
So
now I will going to kill
Yo.
So that's 1970s style,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where everything was like off a little bit.
We have that, and there's certain scenes where Don the Dragon is talking to one of his Padawans, who's Ernie Reyes. But I purposely took the audio and like made it 5 seconds behind. So he's talking like this, and then you see him talking, but his dialogue is like way delayed.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So that whole concept,
Yeah,
that's 1970s all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much. There's so much fun in it. I mean, we had a really great cast of people.
Yeah,
And,
it's actually a phenomenal cast, and we'll get to that in just a second, this trailer. Now, yeah, we're just going to play from the camera because I'm not even getting the email into my email for some reason.
Can you look it up on YouTube? If you send you the
Yeah,
YouTube name.
how about YouTube?
What's the name on YouTube? It's called
Yeah,
Fury,
give your YouTube site up.
Fury of the Fist Martial Arts Trailer. Comedy Dynamics. So here's
Yeah.
the...
Yeah.
I mean, you see, we do everything right here, raw, real,
Right.
right down. It's no pre-production going on here. It's like this is happening right
So
now.
the guys are coming in right now through the door. We're going to do a little fight scene for you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We have a.
I'd love to be able to participate.
Listen,
in
we
that.
have an awesome group of people. We have John Claude's daughter Bianca Van Damme, who did a phenomenal.
I just want to know if
job.
she's going to do the splits.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, good.
She did the
Okay.
same kicks. She just does some stuff that her father and Alex work with her a bunch too.
Yeah.
And
She didn't have
she's
to
a lot
repeat
of
too
fun.
many lines either, right? Because Jean has a hard time remembering lines now.
No, she was fun.
Oh, okay.
She was actually good. She was actually very fun, very kind,
Yeah.
and plays as like a Pocahontas. It's a very interesting type character. Then there's Tiny Lister, who plays a character named Superfly.
Oh God!
And,
oh God!
And then Alex,
Superfly.
Superfly. Then obviously Danny Trejo plays a guy named Nino Grande.
Yes.
And
Who's an ex-porn star.
Yes, well, of course, Grande. Yes.
And then
Little big.
then Cynthia Rothrock.
Well, wait. Let's go back to Danny Trejo because he's not like 6'9".
No.
Danny's about 5'7", 5'6", 5'8", somewhere in there, right?
Yeah.
So when you say Nino Grande, man, what's he scraping the ground? I mean, and the water's deep too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
well,
old
he
joke.
has the opening fight scene in the movie, which is against the Fist, which played by Sean.
Oh, nice.
So Sean's an ex-porn star. So the opening
It's two porn stars.
scene in the movie is two porn stars fighting.
Oh, that's funny.
And then we ended up with like a porn scene in a theater in the 70s. And then that's when Tiny Lister comes in. It's freaking hilarious. Because one guy's
how
the other guy's mojo, and it's
fun.
It's great.
And that goes into this whole martial art world of consciousness. And then, of course, the sidekick is played by a UFC Hall of Famer, Don Fry.
Oh,
And,
God.
he killed
Big
it.
Don Fry?
Yeah.
You had Don Fry in there?
Yeah.
He killed it.
Oh,
Wait till
man.
you guys see Don. He's amazing.
Don Fry is awesome.
Yeah.
No, he's got
okay,
it.
so
now.
we got to play this. You almost got it up on YouTube? Okay, we're
on
going to.
YouTube. I just got to bring it in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All right, Lee.
So I mean, Don Fry was just awesome. I mean, John Fry is one of the toughest guys you'll ever see. I mean, you watch his fights in the UFC. I mean,
Come on.
I mean, not for nothing. You see,
but
the
that's
fight.
old school UFC.
Old school.
That was
even
a
in
different kind of. They actually could do things that they can't do now.
Right.
I think that was just because of the weight classes and all that.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that
But they
crazy
used to
stuff.
be able to. They used to be able to gouge and elbow in areas.
Well,
when
you
it first came.
I never seen him gouge.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't think
not
gouging. There was
but
no
they-
gouging.
Yeah, but they could do a lot.
They could elbow, but they
different.
couldn't
there was
gouge.
no
They could
gloves.
elbow. No, there were no
You
gloves.
couldn't poke anybody in the eye, but you
Right.
couldn't gouge.
Yeah, but
You
like UFC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the videos
Yeah,
that
well,
you ran
they
at
were
that
great.
Blockbuster, those are the great ones.
Blockbuster.
and not many people know that.
Blockbuster, right? I mean, am I dating myself now?
When the Gracies used to run it, John Milius, who wrote Apocalypse Now, not many people know this, but he designed the Octagon. That was his design.
Really?
A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
And he's
didn't know that.
he's really an icon as far as films go. But
Ready to go? Okay. So we got this this terrific trailer we're talking about, and this very funny kung fu martial arts movie, and it's
Fury
just
of the
hilarious.
Fist.
It's a period piece, and the name of it, guys, set it up real
Fury
quickly.
of the Fist.
and the Golden Fleece. It's in theaters May 25th and on every streaming modem of release that you could think of.
Okay, so let's play it, Lee, whenever you're ready.
The son of the guy who wrote Scarface, Sean Stone, and the daughter of the guy hired to be the first Predator, Bianca Van Damme, and the guy with the world's fastest kick,
Steve, that's who.
Alexander Wraith, and the stunt coordinator who died 15 times in Black Dynamite, Peter Antico, plus WWE star Bill Goldberg, American Ninja's Michael Dudikoff, UFC Hall of Famer Don Fry, Jiu-Jitsu legend Pigan Machado, WBC welterweight champion Victor Ortiz, best of the best star Simon Reed, the guy who choked out Bruce Lee, Judo Gene LaBelle.
What did you expect, Charlie Chan?
Superman's Jack O'Halloran, The Last Dragon Timok, Lady Dragon Cynthia Rothrock, Ernie Reyes Jr., Don the Dragon Wilson,
Whooping Crane.
all-around badass Danny Trejo, and a poster of Benny the Jet, Fury of the Fist, and the Golden Fleece.
And a poster of Benny the Jet. I love that part. That's funny.
Yeah.
What? Benny didn't want to do the movie? What?
It's that poster. We had, I got it too. We had a small, window, a 19-20 day shooting schedule.
Right.
With big scenes. Like,
I mean, really, it doesn't take. It takes training to shoot a small budget film.
Right.
You want to give somebody, a director, I get $30 million. I mean, forget about it. You got all day long. You have
Starbucks. Is it craft services here?
Yeah, and the schedule is obviously much slower. But I actually think filmmakers who earn their chops in small budget films that actually work with them and do them well.
Well, like Kevin Sable. Kevin Sable did the movie, this faith-based movie.
Sure.
And they spent $3 million making it, small budget movie. It's made $10 million in a 6-week run already. $10 million. So, awesome. And it's really quality. And so if you do a quality small budget movie, and it gets its legs, there's real profit in that.
Oh, but look, the key is having I think the right combination, because you never know what a film's going to do. But this movie from the beginning, the writing is really smart. It's really smart writing. It's not the story is a bit it's like farcical, but there's a lot of truth in the comedy. So that's why I say it's smart. When people listen to it, it's going to make them think, and they'll make them laugh their ass off. It'll make them think.
Right.
So
it's kind of like reprimanding a child without yelling at them, but doing it in a nice way. So,
right.
But it's fun. You put some stuff in there that are like key points in society nowadays, but you do it in a soft, indirect way. So people are like, oh wait, did you see that? That was,
It's not like when I was in grammar school and I got in trouble, man. I got the whipping stick, right?
Yeah.
Right, from the teacher, from the principal. No, yeah.
Like we're like Alex is out of his mind. We have Egan Machado, who's Brazilian, playing a Chinese waiter.
I know. Seeing Don the Dragon Wilson with the Fu Manchu look. I mean that, and he does the Karate Kid kick.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious right there.
Hey, the London brothers who did Mallrats, they're in the film as well.
Wow, everybody's in this.
Ty Mack, who starred in The Last Dragon with Wesley Snipes. Yeah, a prevalent part, obviously Goldberg.
Wesley Snipes was in it, was he?
Yeah,
he was. Do you sit around and write this movie?
You bet.
Do you sit around and write this script at night and laugh yourself into oblivion? Or does it kind of happen, you have come in with a premise like a reality show, a working script, a scene script. You come in with an idea where you want to go, and then it just develops right there, and you work in the comedy?
Well, what we did for this one was, I saw, when I've known Sean for a long time, and we were working on a horror movie, but he just always... I always had this character in my mind called the Fist, and I missed those 80s action movies, and I just looked at him like,
you grew up on those, right?
Yeah, I'm like, you just look like a freaking action hero from the 80s, like the way you move, I'm like, we have to do something. You have to play this character.
Right.
So we ended up talking, and then I'm like, you know what, let's just write a script for it and have fun and see what we could do. So we wrote the script, and the way this really got set up is through these auditions that we casted, because the idea was, let's cast people that nobody knows, who would never get a shot to be in any of these movies, which we did, and we held these insane castings, which Pete came to in Beverly Hills.
Did you have castings for the martial arts aspects, or
for everything, for the acting and the martial arts?
Well, that must have been funny
in New York and in LA.
How fun could that be?
I can't tell. You can't even describe.
Let me tell you something. You've never seen anything like this, and if that. We're gonna end up.
There's a movie right there, isn't there?
Listen, it's a little doc. You could sell 10-minute clips of that episode. We could just call it The Audition, and it would be viral and off the hook. It's hilarious what these people.
I mean, just the stuff we see like on American Idol when they do their little side clips, and America's Got Talent and stuff. Some of the stuff that ends up not even getting past the auditorium that they're, that's in itself.
But that's
funny.
Normal.
That's normal life.
This is insanity. What we got on camera was insanity.
Wow.
But these guys they put their heart out in the audition room. So I'm like, you know what? I gave everybody a shot. I put them in the movie.
Right.
So you'll see guys that repeat in the film playing different characters. Like for instance, I play my character's name is El Guapo.
All right.
He's a guy that's obsessed with Scarface. He went to an audition and
go away.
And he so the whole movie he
My
recites
little friend?
Yeah,
My
he
little
recites
friend?
Scarface lines. But there's a scene where I fight this this thug who's a Japanese guy who didn't speak any English who we casted. And he does a screaming scene for about 10 minutes in the movie. And you're gonna see it and you're gonna be he screams for 10 minutes. Like we have to cut away and then come back to
And he's still screaming.
Yeah, he's still screaming.
I mean, screaming.
Like I'm talking about, like screaming, like you're killing the guy. Like the thing is, he's getting shot, so he gets shot about. He gets shot about 15 times.
Hey man, why did you call me for that audition? I didn't scream for 10 minutes. Come on. I mean, wow, that's hilarious.
Oh, it's great.
I'd love to just have a Dr. Pepper and watch the outtakes because I don't drink, but that'd be kind of fun just watching that.
For people out there that don't know, I mean, Sean we're talking about is Oliver Stone's son,
right?
He's
well, I'm sorry, I was thinking about Sharon Stone
when
you said Stone and when she uncrossed her legs.
I mean, it's interesting because he's really bright. He does a lot of humanitarian things that I'm extremely impressed with. Speaks out for is really in support of we the people, but the ethics and integrity that he has is awesome, and it translates into this work because we know how to make fun of ourselves and we know how to spread truths with fun because passion is like if you do what you love you never work a day in your life, which is what Winston Churchill said. And it's if you're enjoying yourself, I mean this whole if there was a panel on making this movie, I mean it would be a riot what you have to go through to make independent film.
One of the movies I loved so much as a kid growing up, which has a lot of what you're talking about, this craziness that just goes on, was a mad world, and it had all the great comedic actors of that genre in the 40s and 50s and 60s in that movie, and every scene was just mad, and so this kind of has that same flavor.
There's no boring scene.
Yeah. Now, how do you do something serious after that? How do you get down to doing some serious topic after? Because that's fun. You gotta love to do.
Well, it's like this: Jackie Gleason, who is one of the greatest comedians of all time. Watch him in the Fast Eddie Felson, the movie about the hustler.
Great movie.
The hustler, and watch him. Watch his as funny as he is. He comes in completely serious, and he was a phenomenal actor. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's much more difficult to do comedy than it is to do drama. But by far.
Yeah, look at Robin Williams.
You don't want to be funny in comedy. You just have to live the part.
Well, the material has to take you. The comedy's in the reality. It's not if you're trying to be funny, you're falling on your face.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of this movie, I purposely told people that it was a drama.
On purpose, So they wouldn't go in there looking for the jokes, right?
They're trying to go into it as a joke. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? This is,
This is a drama.
This is a serious
Don't
film.
you understand? After they see it, what are you laughing at? This is a drama. You should be crying. What's wrong with you? Yeah?
So that's why, comedy is very, very difficult to do.
I was watching late last night. I watched Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, and Sidney Poitier in Look Who's Coming to Dinner.
Wow.
The 1967 version, and I caught it at about 2 o'clock in the morning. And the movies then were 2 hours long, many of them, and but during that film, it talks a lot about what's going on today. All these years later. But during the film, there are some comedic moments in a very, very touching film that was far ahead of its time in terms of social ideas and understandings of the 60s, where a black man and a white woman want to get married, and the bigotry and the racism. But the way Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn played it, there were some, and Sidney Poitier, there were some comedic moments in there that were just classic. So comedy really does come out of tragic and heavy duty ideas.
Some of the best comedians are like the darkest people. Look, I mean, again, Robin Williams. I said it earlier, but that comedy comes from that dark place. You can't be a comedian and not have.
Yeah, you're right, because a lot of them seem to be all screwed up.
Yeah,
I mean, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. But it's fun. Again, it's fun, and seeing an action comedy like Kung Fu Hustle we talked about earlier. It's
got to be one of our favorites.
One of my favorite, one of our favorite movies. But we haven't seen too many of those.
Which one do you? What scene do you like in Kung Fu Hustle?
Oh God, Kung Fu Hustle is a very interesting film. I have to tell you, the movie that first got me way before any of them was Kentucky Fried Movie.
That's a fabulously
and
funny
when
movie.
they did a takeoff on Bong Soo-han, did a takeoff on Bruce Lee. Oh yeah, the art of fighting without fighting. Watch the finger. I mean, and
the guy that kept repeating, "You have our gratitude."
Yes,
I love that movie.
I mean, when you look at a spoof like that now. I fell on the floor. I was a kid. I was training martial arts, but I felt every time I watched that movie over and over
it's
again.
so funny, man.
And look, small budget movie, and they just took a piss out of everything.
Yeah, and they were creative about it.
Right. They do Catholic high school girls in bondage. I mean, and then Manny Perry, who used to double the Incredible Hulk, he busted. He was Mr. Universe at the time,
right?
And he said, "Do you suffer from erectile dysfunction? Do you have problems with your woman? If you can, dial this number." And you can have Big Jim Slade. He breaks through the door. Does some poses.
Yeah.
Walks up, picks up the girl. Looks like that, and then walks out of the room with her. So, I mean, these things are absurd. But the comedy was in the absurdity, which is a lot like, our film, which is it's a lot of fun.
It's very slapstick, there's a fight scene between Bill Goldberg and Don Fry in a car wash.
I mean, we're talking two very well-sized men here,
and they went at it
in a car wash.
They went at it, and then they did like a
Wait a
Three
minute, there's
Stooges
some girls
kinda.
that would love to watch Bill Goldberg and Fry in a car wash, with the soapy suds and all that.
It was actually on the car wash. We turned it on. It wasn't like not running. And I'm like, "You guys sure you want to do this?" They're like,
fun could
"Put it
that
on.
be?
Let's go."
That is fun, man. So what project? We're going to play it again here before the end in a couple of more minutes because I want the folks to see it again as we've been kind of chatting about it. But what's on the agenda? What's coming up after this now? Well, now this is released May
25th.
The 25th. Everywhere.
In theaters all across the country and selected theaters and all on all the platforms, iTunes, Amazon.
Yeah, the new technology's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a date and date release, so we're releasing in the theaters at the same time. We're going on the SVOD, all the streaming sites, and our clips and our GIFs are all over the place,
right?
And they're going to continue to decrease because all these characters are really funny. We even have a guy named CC, your friend from. Tell him about CC.
CT Fletcher is in it.
Right.
Yeah.
CT Fletcher plays Mr. T.
Yeah.
But I mean, C.T. Fletcher, if you guys know who he is, he's one of the most amazing motivational speakers ever. He was a strongman, one of the strongest guys ever. He won a lot of competitions.
I know those guys. You don't realize how big and strong those strongmen are.
Yeah,
they're huge and strong.
Oh yeah, but he's just not just physically, but mentally.
You got to be mentally strong to be squatting 1,000 pounds and pulling the semi trucks.
So CT's in
with your mouth.
Yeah. CT's in it, and he does a great job doing a little monologue for us.
So what's coming on next on the agenda after this? Because, you guys are always working on something new.
Yeah. I'm working on an action film called Kill Kick, which we're going to film in Utah and Vegas.
Something you're doing yourself independently?
Yeah, we're doing it with 5150. It's a great production with Lockheed Productions. And that's going to be an awesome franchise action film. Kind of like The Raid meets... I don't know, Man on Fire. So it's a fun thing that we're doing in action based.
This guy's got the biggest shoulders, guys. I mean, his shoulders are like the size of the Grand Canyon across the face of the Grand Canyon. How'd you get such big and wide shoulders? Is that natural in your family?
I was just born with it.
Yeah, natural in your family.
I never actually worked. If I worked my shoulders,
you'd be like giant shoulders, right?
So I just keep away from them. But
yeah.
It's genetics.
Yeah. Cool, man. And of course, you've got the Ronda Rousey story, which we saw at the Newport Film Festival.
Yeah,
and that's out right now.
Well, we just put it on, and we're just confirming which company we're going to go with because
for distribution, right?
Yeah, because we got a really good.
I bet you did. It was a great movie, great documentary.
Yeah.
It's all about Ronda Rousey, and it's a terrific film. It's got so many subtleties, so many layers of story in it. It's just not your typical, this is a great athlete and this is a hard work and sweat that she put into it, and these were her trainers and this was the result. No, there's levels of this beautiful documentary that Pete and Gary Stretch put together, which is you've got a father love story in there. You've got heartache. You've got a mother story. You've got the death of a paternal father. I mean, it's so multi-layered. So it's more than a documentary. It's actually just a slice of life. You really captured it.
Yeah, it's powerful. It shows the kind heart and soul that no one's ever seen, because the footage that we have, no one has. I mean, we followed her. We were fortunate to follow her the first day that she walked in an MMA gym at Highest End MMA from the beginning.
Go-Kart.
From
right.
Go-Kart's gym.
Yeah.
You know, from the beginning, I mean, the first 3 years when you never heard of her, all the struggle, everything, we have all that on film.
Right.
So, and those are the early years, and nobody has that footage. And it's beautiful. I mean, it really shows the true, kind, generous human being that she is. Press can change one. You got to imagine a 22-year-old, 23-year-old person all of a sudden is thrown into private jets and all this money.
Yeah.
You have to really, it takes a bit, and we've all seen many actors try to deal with that. It's a very difficult thing to deal with.
You don't realize it. The common person doesn't realize the amount of money and the amount of freebies and the amount of that boys or that girls on your back that you get. It's hard to deal with because it's not normal in people's lives. Now, this is how we have an intercom system at the Jesse T Show. When your engineer, when your producer, when your guru has gone off somewhere else. Hey, Lay! See, that's the intercom system I work. Lay!
Here's your major malfunction.
We want to play that. We want to play the trailer again. Okay. See how that works?
That was great.
I mean, that's
very high tech.
Is that high tech, right? I mean,
direct line of communication.
Yes, yell as loud as you can, right? Absolutely. So, who's the survivalist here? Who's the prepper? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. The right here, the survivalist. Yeah. This is the guy you want to be with when the apocalypse happens.
This is the guy you want to be with.
No, when the zombie apocalypse happens, you want to be with this guy, right? You like doing that stuff.
Oh, I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're pretty into it too.
Yeah, I'm totally into it. Yes.
You were telling me earlier.
He said to me, he asked me earlier, he said, so where are your vehicles parked? Because I got military vehicles. And I said, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, well, where's your place? I'm not telling.
He didn't tell me anything. I was trying to get a heads up.
That's right. Then he kicked me. Yes. I'll tell you everything. You got it. So how did you guys get together? I mean, was it on another movie set?
I met him on Wall Street too. I was playing a hedge fund guy and did a little technical advising. I have an economic and finance background. And I met Alex with Oliver Stone. And in New York, and so we did a movie. The first movie that Sean and Alex did was a horror film in New York.
Those are fun to make.
Greystone.
Too.
Yeah.
And then I was back there. I was a stunt coordinator for that particular film, and that was with Sean and Alex in New York. That was the first thing that Sean had done. It's pretty spooky. It's pretty.
He directed that one.
Yeah, it's a Greystone. They walked into we actually went into the Greystone.
You actually went to Greystone Manor?
We actually went.
Yeah, that place is. I grew up there, man.
Yeah.
I used to go there. I knew that place like the back of my hand.
Were you like going in there when you were a teenager and stuff? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew that place. Like I didn't need a map or I used to have a lot.
There's lots of stories that they did the psychic energy and the ghosts and all that crazy stuff from there.
It's a spooky place, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, it's been locked up for what, 100 years?
They tore it down now.
They did tear it down.
It's completely gone.
Oh, that's a bummer, man. He should have made that like historical landmark or something. So let's play this. Let's play this trailer again before we end on the Jesse T Show. Set it up again for me, if you will, and let the folks know when and where they can see it.
Well, it comes out all U.S. wide in theaters and then on all the SVOD streaming platforms on May 25th this month. And this is the trailer with all the 80s martial art action heroes that we have casted, and the actors. And beside all the martial artists, obviously we have Tommy Davidson and Gene LaBelle and Professor Griff, and Egan Machado, Jason London, Timac. I mean, we have a
who do you know?
Simon Witt, Simon Rhee.
Yeah,
we
broke the
people.
cameo record.
Yeah.
I was going to say, did you drain every agency in town?
Sam Jones from
Richard
Sam
Grieco.
Jones.
Richard Grieco.
Richard
Oh,
Grieco.
get
Sorry,
out of here.
Richard Grieco and
he's
Sam
a
Jones
funny
who played
guy.
Flash Gordon.
Richard
Flash
Grieco's-
Gordon.
He's a funny guy.
Michael Winslow from
He's
Police
hilariously
Academy.
funny.
If you guys watch the
Michael
movie,
Winslow, Police
Michael went
Academy.
with the sound effects?
Yep.
Oh,
guy?
yeah.
Yep.
Is he doing sound effects?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
If you guys watch the film, look for Richard Grieco. There's a scene that I'm in with him, and my back's to the camera because I couldn't stop laughing.
He's a funny guy, man.
He was asking. We were asking for his meat. The whole scene. We're like, "Where's your meat?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, meat."
That's funny. All right, let's play this.
The estrogen-filled meat. Yeah.
Wrote Scarface, Sean Stone, and the daughter of the guy hired to be the first Predator, Bianca Van Damme, and the guy with the world's fastest kick,
That's who.
Alexander Wraith, and the stunt coordinator who died 15 times in Black Dynamite, Peter Antico, plus WWE star Bill Goldberg, American Ninja's Michael Dudikoff, UFC Hall of Famer Don Fry, Jiu-Jitsu legend Pigan Machado, WBC welterweight champion Victor Ortiz, best of the best star Simon Rhee, the guy who choked out Bruce Lee, Judo Gene LaBelle,
What did you expect, Charlie Chan?
Superman's Jack O'Halloran, The Last Dragon Timok, Lady Dragon Cynthia Rothrock, Ernie Reyes Jr., Don the Dragon Wilson,
Whooping Crane.
all-around badass Danny Trejo, and a poster of Benny the Jet, Fury of the Fist, and the Golden Fleece.
And a poster of Benny the Jet. Oh, that is so funny. That is the kicker right there.
Yeah.
That's funny. Because you're thinking, and Benny the Jet, right? And a poster of Benny the Jet.
A poster. Yeah.
Get the poster, the poor guy.
Hey, look, listen. Creativity comes in a lot of ways in how you present something. This is really a fun movie.
Yeah.
And anybody that would want to watch it, will have a really good time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
I
fun.
promise you'll never have seen a film like this. This film is insane.
This is cool, man. So how do the fans keep in touch with you? You got Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah,
all that?
Instagram, just my name, Alexander Wraith. Facebook,
Spell your last name because a lot of people are going to mess it up.
Wraith.
Okay, well, that's easy.
Wraith.
Yeah, Instagram for me at Pete Antico, and Twitter at Pete Antico, Antico. Facebook, same, Pete Antico.
Absolutely. So you can follow the guys there on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and follow this crazy movie, and look for it as we get to the end of the Jesse T Show. Just a couple of more things. I was at a big fight promotion today, a big media run on Triple G's fight. At the hub, the Stub Hub Center, where the Galaxy play on Saturday on Cinco de Mayo on the 5th. Are you guys are fighters, martial artists, and do you follow boxing still, or is MMA more the thing that you follow?
I love boxing.
I love
It's a great
boxing.
sport.
I mean, I follow both. But
Yeah.
I'm an avid boxer. I used to compete.
Yeah. Do you think that boxing is coming back? That it's getting a resurgence now, or do you think because MMA came on so strong in the last few years?
And you can't beat Barnum and Bailey, which is
Right.
the new PT Barnum's Dana White. He promotes anything. I mean, they do a brilliant job at it. And, but obviously, there's boxers that we always love to see. I mean, Triple G is phenomenal.
Right.
I mean, the Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather fights, but there's so many brilliant, high level, fighters that we love to see. We like to see, as boxing fans, a fair show, but a lot of times in the boxing world, what gives it a bad rap is the judging. Sometimes is the worst. Some of the worst decisions.
Well, everybody
ever made.
knows boxing is corrupt at the high end.
I mean, boxing's always been corrupt, but I think what used to make boxing was the fights. The styles make fights. So in the 60s, 70s, 50s. You had a lot of guys who would fight each other.
Come on, you had Ali facing off Smoking Joe Frazier, too.
And Ernie Shavers.
Ernie Shavers would take hits.
Jerry Cooley.
No one understood how
James Quick Tillis.
Yeah.
I mean, Carlos Monzon.
Ken Norton,
But
too.
you would have guys
Danny
fight.
Little Red Lopez, Randy Shields.
Come
on.
Floyd Patterson.
But those guys would
Indy
fight
Lopez
consistently.
grew up in my town.
Yeah, Indy Red Lopez, Danny Red Lopez, everyone from the Main Street Gym in Los Angeles.
Yeah, everybody.
But they would fight consistently. Nowadays,
all the time.
It's just let's
Alberto
fight 2
Davila.
times or 3 times, and no one fights to the death. It's
Right.
like They don't want to get hurt, and promote.
Well, I don't like the fact that it goes. I know it's a safety thing, but I do miss the 15-round championship fights.
It's like Chuck Zito's father had 300 professional fights, and they'd fight 4 times in a month.
Yeah,
and they get $10 a fight.
Yeah, nothing. Right
now, and I mean, if you really think about that, I mean, and he beat up Rocky Graziano routinely. At the gym, and it was publicized in the paper in New York at that particular time.
Right.
That game was a rough game.
Yeah, and again, everyone wants to be Floyd Mayweather. Floyd is amazing at what he does. He's a great.
He could never take on. I don't think he could take on the guys from 20 years ago in his weight class. I don't think Floyd could do it.
He would have to fight Lamada and Robinson
and even the guys in the 70s and the 80s. Yeah. I don't think Floyd could do it.
Those guys are. I mean, again, it was a different circumstances.
I mean, Marvel's Marvin Hagler.
Well, we got Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran would be difficult for anybody to beat.
Yeah.
Did not
Sugar Ray
care.
Had a hard time with him. Hitman Hearns. I love that fight between Hitman Hearns and Hagler.
Yeah.
Oh, the greatest round in boxing history.
It was, man.
Yeah.
Remember that first round?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's again. It was more active. There was more guys after it. Nowadays, it's like there are guys who are going after it, but it's more showboating, kind of. But it's the same thing with football. It's the same thing with basketball.
Carlos Palomino, Ray Leonard. Come on,
Carl.
I mean, you have these fighters are they're unbelievable fighters.
When you look back at the old footage on Google or YouTube and you really start dissecting this stuff, I mean, what about the fearless Freddie Pendleton?
Yeah, Freddie Pendleton.
He had 178 fights and 78 pro fights. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And he beat Floyd Mayweather Sr. Knocked him right out of the ring.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Aaron Pryor.
Pryor.
I mean, you got all these old school guys. I mean, Hector Macho Camacho.
Now with the MMA, of course, that came on early on, and then the Danny White's group bought it and they changed it a little bit and they put rules in it, and it's very captivating. I mean, you got to be disciplined in 5 different disciplines to be able to succeed in that.
Tough racket.
But they don't last long, do they? They're
it's a high turnover
3 to 5 years.
I'd like to see them get a health plan. I think no one's done it in boxing, but for what they do, the corporation is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They should have a health plan.
Well, the thing is, it's a training is different in MMA. I've had a couple of MMA fights. And you're training jiu-jitsu, so your ligaments are getting torn up.
Yeah,
how is wrestling?
Go ahead.
Then you're going kickboxing,
right.
And then you're doing regular boxing, and then you're doing cardio. So you're training 3-4 times a day.
On different elements.
Then you have to cut weight, which completely drains your body. You don't have any water in your body, so you dry out. So those injuries are like very, there's a big swing. But boxing, on the other hand, you're training, you're constantly sparring, you're in the ring, because I've fought both.
Yeah.
Every shot's going to your head.
Yeah.
And these are precision shots with guys who know how to hit, who know how to hurt you.
Right.
And if you're tired and they see it, you're
well, that was one of the things, the criticisms about Ronda Rousey, the great champion who changed the face of MMA game, especially for women. She got women in, is that when she became champion and she had those last 2 fights, she can't strike for beans, and she doesn't even know how to defend a good striker in terms of that. She's an armbar. She's a jiu-jitsu. She's a judo girl, you know, and she stopped. She kind of traded that in for trying to strike.
Well, Gene LeBell put it best. He said, you don't box a boxer and you don't grapple a grappler.
Absolutely. And she should have stuck to her game. So when you talk about the 5 disciplines, these men and women, they have to be disciplined in all.
But it's hard to be well-rounded in all of them.
It really is. It's coming back to striking, though. Even MMA is coming back to striking. No one wants to go on the ground.
Yeah, well, now Bellator, the last Bellator fight, there was 4 submissions. 4 different fights.
See, that hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how that happened. There's some great jiu-jitsu guys that came in.
Yeah.
One of them was Connor's guy.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. But he came in. He was new. It was his first fight. But there was 4 submissions.
Wow.
In that, and the guys just took him down. No gi.
Yeah.
And again, it's like Pete said. You don't strike with a striker. You don't grapple with.
Mayweather wants to go. Now there's the talk that Mayweather's going to enter the octagon with Conor. Come on, man. He'll lose in 30 seconds.
But I actually don't think so.
You don't think?
No, there's going to be rules. They're going to fix the rules so that.
I don't know if they will or not, but people don't realize. Floyd Mayweather, that whole fight with Conor McGregor, had his hands up in front of him, and he does not. He does not
get hit.
But he doesn't. He never stands in front of anybody.
No,
it's
always an angle.
For me, respectfully, that was a sparring match for me for him. I mean, he's up till late at night. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He's in great shape. I mean, sparring. He sparred 10 times better boxers than Conor every day of his life when he's fighting for all of his championship rounds. He wouldn't fight Conor because Conor's not going to give him any work. If he goes to MMA, his footwork will be completely different. He won't stand in front of him, and forgets the 3-ounce gloves. All he has to do is hit him once, and it's over because he'll hit him 50 more
But
times.
they're also adjusting the rules. There's no takedowns, no elbows, no kicks.
Is that what they're talking about?
Really? No takedowns. How could that be?
How could that? How could it be MMA?
It's
It's a
another
boxing
boxing
match.
match.
Yeah, basically, but you can only clinch and let go and strike.
So like Muay Thai.
That's ridiculous. That's
Yeah,
not.
no
The
kicks.
fans don't
Clinch
like
around
that.
Muay Thai?
Yeah, you can
It won't
you
be
can
pure.
clinch.
With knees and you can
No
but
knees.
You,
Yeah, you know what? I don't
That's
agree
what
with
I
that.
heard.
I
There's
don't-
like, I don't
hey,
agree
look,
with it.
if
If
you're
you want to
gonna-
make
right.
an MMA, go MMA rules. It's
Right.
not fair.
No, it
He came. Conor had
Yeah.
the balls to come and box, and he's
Yeah, that's
got
right.
plenty of balls.
Right. You can't take that away
he's
from
a
the guy.
And he's a great businessman.
Yep.
Conor McGregor, God bless you.
Right.
Great businessman. And look, who's made more money than him being another showman?
Nobody.
So if then listen, Floyd, you see what he said after the fight?
Yeah.
I picked the right dance partner.
Yeah.
Now, if he goes to MMA,
Yeah.
both these guys and the UFC, who got a piece of the first gate,
Yes.
is going to make more and more money, and it's
Yeah.
a business. Remember,
Yep,
it's a business.
It is a business.
And I wish both those guys really will because
Right.
what they put together, their whole show, their whole press tour,
It was
Yeah, that
great.
was
they
great. That was
sold
fun.
the fight. And,
Yeah, they did.
That was fun.
so they get it. They get 1,000% on their test. They both kick
yeah,
ass.
I mean, if
God
you're going to
bless them.
fight the guy in his own arena, then fight him under their rules.
yeah, fight them
Yeah.
under their
I
rules.
don't know
Yeah.
if they're going to do that.
And they won't let him do that because
They won't let Floyd do
because
that.
they aren't going to let anybody shoot on Floyd's legs.
No.
You know, and that's what anybody's going to do is try to take you to the ground and shoot on your legs.
Sure, but it's interesting that Holly Holm, when
And
he
if you
fought
don't,
Cyborg,
let me just interject. If someone's shooting on your legs and you don't have the defense to deal with someone shooting on your legs, either by sprawling or wrestling or kicking or kneeing somebody
yeah.
when they're shooting on you or putting your knee up to block, if you don't have that skill built in, you're not going to generate it in 6 months of training.
but look at this: Holly Holm fought Cyborg and fought Ronda.
Right.
Nobody took her down. Now, Cyborg didn't take her down. Cyborg is a beast. Now, and that's what I'm saying. Holly is a professional boxer and a champion boxer. So if they're both champion boxers, if she's a champion boxer, she didn't get taken down. If Floyd did the same thing, he wins the fight again. But it's dangerous with 3-ounce gloves. Floyd he wouldn't be playing. If he went in, he would go in
Yeah,
and
'cause
move.
that's almost bare knuckle.
Yeah,
essentially almost.
You're not gonna. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not gonna. If he really wants to go, you're in trouble. He knocked Ricky Hatton dead,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Floyd.
Yeah.
And when he fought Manny Pacquiao, who's
Yeah.
a genius, forget about it. Look at the skill of that guy. He's just amazing.
Well, he ran away from Manny Pacquiao. That's all he did. Round and round and round they go.
Well, but you want to know what Sugar Ray Leonard danced around Marvin Hagler, and Sugar Ray Leonard hits Randy Shields.
Yeah,
is a friend of
but
mine.
Sugar Ray Leonard, he stood up in the middle of the ring many times during that fight and went duked it out with Hagler.
I bet, and then
And
stick
he
and
would
move,
dance
stick and
with-
move.
Then he would do that.
Randy Shields, who was one of the only two people who ever beat Sugar Ray Leonard in amateurs, I sparred with him. He told me Ray Leonard hit harder than anybody ever because of speed. Speed kills.
Right.
And Randy was a phenomenal top 5 fighter.
Yeah.
Irish Randy Shields
Yep. He could take a
from
punch.
North Hollywood, California.
He could take a punch. Absolutely
Yeah,
right.
hard to hit him. Watch his Hearns. He won 14 rounds with Tommy Hearns.
The Hitman is, I think he's the most underrated, greatest fighter around. That guy, long and lanky, way out
But he
of.
had the leverage.
He had the
Wide.
weird. Yeah, but he had his real wide, but he had this
Yeah.
weird kind of body type for that size of weight.
Yeah.
But he was
6
so
feet.
man. He could. They all said he had a glass jaw. No, he did not. So do you guys? You both competed like that. Do you guys miss that kind of competition? As we're all older now, but I mean, we're not going to do that. But do you miss that? And do you, do you get
Alex
some
can
of
still
that?
do it. Alex old, he could still go knock somebody
Yeah.
out. Listen, we could do it, but when you get into the training, it's harder, and it's harder to heal. Jesse. When
Yeah,
you get
I
older,
can't heal anymore.
When you get older, it's harder to
No.
heal. You do something, it breaks you. Instead of taking, you're back in 3 days, it takes 2 months. and it's a pain in the ass.
Right. You tell me about it. I do the Spartan racing and obstacle course racing, and it kicks my
You
butt.
just gotta meditate, man. Meditate and heal.
Really?
That's what the Buddhist monks do.
Yeah, heal. Yeah.
But they don't get any sex, though, man.
That's why they heal quick. That's why they heal quick. The Jamaicans too. They don't. That's why they heal quick.
Yeah?
They don't. Yeah. They don't. They get sex, but they don't. Release.
I'd rather have some
Can't
sex
release
and
it.
not heal. Thank you very much. Or have some sex on the heels, one or the other. Or have someone's heels having sex with me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. Hey, the Jesse T Show. Thanks a lot. Check out the movie. It is
Fury of the
Fist and the Golden Fleece.
It's the 25th of this month. Everywhere, look for it. And, hey, we're archived up now on Facebook, Livestream, Periscope, Instagram, Twitter, Blogger. It's going out and out and out. And thepowerofvoices.com. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Scott, for coming in here, guys. A lot of fun, huh? Gotta have some fun here. All we need is some dancing girls. Oh, wait a minute. Did I just go macho? I think I did. Hey. You're in my world. The world according to Torrero. You're straight on the spot, baby. The Brown Beauty's off duty. See ya! Bam!